Thing wants to, and welcome. When Greg doesn't finish his sentences, that's what happens. But we are here for the boys' version of our JV contest. The Cyclones taking on the Spartans here. And I will step aside to do the introduction things as John is putting things in their proper place. Is that good enough? Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to West Prairie Junior Senior High School for today's matchup between the BPC Spartans and your West Prairie Cyclones. At this time, please rise, ladies and gentlemen, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. And now the starting lineups. First, for the visiting BPC Spartans. Number 3, De'Arian Ruffin Thomas. Number 11, Lane Huffman. Number 15, Brock Beekman. Number 23, Connor Upton. And number 34, Ethan McKim. And now for those all in attendance and listening over the World Wide Web, it's time to meet your West Prairie Cyclones! Number 3, Brody Cordell. Number 11, Cam Kramer. Number 13, Ryan Clark. Number 14, Austin Nelson. And number 25, Jair Flora Durham. Cyclones are coached by Ian Conkling and assisted by Reagan Weaver. Your officials for tonight's game, Kevin Raleigh and Keegan Steinkamp. And once again, if I do that too many times tonight, I'm going to blow my voice out one of these. You're going to have to do it, John. Although I've heard you do very capable when you fill in for me.
Sometimes when I come to these boys' games, they tell me that I have to do it, and while I don't enjoy it, I do get told that it's just okay. Nothing like you do, but okay is good enough to cut it, I guess.
Yeah, okay is all right. And the Cyclones working here. Brody Cordell in the corner is thrown in there and tipped away by Beekman. Back will come the Spartans, and a little bit quicker pace so far here as Beekman going to put it up, no good. Rebound down by De'Arian Ruffin Thomas, and then working out to Lane Huffman. Huffman on the kick out. Works it over there for Connor Upton. Upton going to bounce it over for Beekman, who kicks it for Ruffin Thomas, and they put it out to Huffman. Huffman, couple of dribbles. Works it down here, kick out, and the long three is good by Connor Upton.
BPC boys starting off much like the girls team did, just putting up a lot of threes here early on. We saw the pull-up three in transition to start that possession, and then the deep three is down and good.
And makes it 3-0 here. Upton from uptown. And Cam Kramer gets back underneath it. Going to bring it across the timeline here. Working with a high double or a double post set. Clark in the near corner. Gives it to him. Nelson cutting through. Couldn't find him. Loops it out to Cordell. Cordell weaving it back to Kramer. Very patient here so far for the two teams as they continue to work. And now bring it in. Austin Nelson, scoop, won't go. Gets his own rebound, goes up, fouled, won't get it to go. But we'll put it up in the, we'll head to the free throw line.
And it's good to see Austin Nelson back out there on the court. I know we went down in the A-Town game here a couple days ago. Didn't return to that one, but always nice to see him back on the court. Glad it wasn't anything too serious.
First one's no good. Little hard off the rim. As they go back to work. And back to work we go. It is 3-1 the lead here for the Spartans. And I'll apologize in advance, the scoreboard being a little bit ornery. It's been a night, folks. As they dribble down, Beekman with it to Huffman. Swing it over, Ruffin Thomas. Three on the way, no good. And the rebound, Clark snaps it up. Well, actually, he is tied up with Macomb.
Way to be aggressive, 34. Bring it.
As we work here. Working in, trying to bring it in, bouncing in the corner, and lost it, but off the hand of Kramer and out of bounds. So it'll stay with the Spartans. Spartans will keep it. Back to Thomas, switching over, now comes out. Working it back over to Huffman. Huffman going to walk it out there, gets the screen, kicks it out, and the long three again, no good. That may have been partially tipped by Cordell. Go out of bounds, it'll stay with the Spartans. Huffman with it on the inbounds, comes over to Beekman. Beekman gonna dribble a little bit, back to Huffman. Huffman back to Beekman, three up and on the way. It is no good. And foul gonna be whistled on Cam Kramer over the back. And it makes it a 3-1 lead here for the Spartans as they bring it in. Beekman ready to trigger, looks, and finally out top to Huffman. Huffman back in the corner, working for Beekman. Beekman gonna drive lane, cut off there, bounces, nice pass. And we got a foul on Cordell as Macomb went up with it, couldn't get it to go in. Was able to get it put in, or able to get the foul rather. And will try to increase the Spartan lead. Misses the first one. And misses the second one. Rebound chased down. Finally caroms over to Cam Kramer. And Kramer will put it on the way. They'll bring it up the court here. Cyclones working it. Kramer looking for Flora in the lane. Dribbles near side as Ruffin Thomas guards him. Still working around, coming down in the lane. Cordell up with it. Fadeaway shot no good. Rebound tipped around. Out of bounds. It'll go over to the Spartans. Wasn't sure where it was going there for a little bit, and then finally did bring it in. As across the timeline comes Lane Huffman, gets picked from Macomb. Works it out now for Upton. Back up top, tried to throw it to Beekman. That one's going to be tapped out of bounds. It'll stay. And you got to give credit, the Cyclones playing some pretty good defense here so far, John.
Yeah, Cyclones doing a nice job limiting the open shots here for BPC early on. Just one thing to notice is the defensive rebounding has been kind of lackluster so far, and a few fouls have been committed on that end of the court. Got to play a little cleaner and got to secure these defensive boards and close out possessions.
Beekman misses, and Cam Kramer down with it. In a hurry up the court. Near side stops, wings it out to Cordell. He'll spot the three. It is no good. Rebound fought for, and Cam Kramer with it. Fight for it underneath, and we've got a reach-in foul on going to be on, I would guess, Jair Flora, but looked like he meant motion 23 or 32, and there's neither number there. Coming in for the Spartans, Nolan Hauer also checking in. Parker Guppy. Bringing out for Upton, over to Lane Huffman, work down to 4:15 and counting in this quarter. Back out for Upton, Upton waiting, swings it around, and brings it over to Beekman. Beekman holds near side. Very patient offense here by the Spartans, John.
Yeah, starting to play with a little bit more patience. As we saw early on, they were forcing some shots up, and I think there's going to be a timeout on the court called. I believe that's going to be charged to BPC.
And we'll step aside as well. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Inbounds comes to Huffman. Huffman looking for Beekman. Gets it to him. They hold there, looking at Hauer in the lane. Nope, and a pass knocked away by Nelson's coming to Guppy. Nelson fished it out of there. Sorry, you knew I was going to do that somewhere along the broadcast, but might as well get out of the way early. Beekman out to Huffman, working around. Continues to give a look, gives to Hauer. Hauer wheeling up the near side to Beekman. Beekman, 3-1 lead here for the Spartans. Out to Huffman. Huffman looking to penetrate on floor. Can't. Has Guppy if he wants him. There, gets it to him. Spins on Nelson. Has it kind of poked away from behind, and finally Cam Kramer comes out of there with it. Kramer comes out of there with it. Cyclones bring it up. Kramer going to work, driving lane, gets caught in there, tried to throw it to Flora, couldn't get it. And now Huffman on the run with Brody Cordell in front of him, and Cordell swats that out of there. Nelson saves it in. Huffman able to get it. Guppy off of Ryan Clark, and back the other way comes Cam Kramer. Looking into the lane, dumps for Clark, and we've got a foul. So still running, still 3-1 here. And now after all that, there comes the scoreboard back. So it is 3-1. And we have an officials discussion here. JoJo's Gaming Parlor offers the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink. Chance to take home Watercash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out TSSR Game Time Live events presented by MDH at JoJo's 776 North Cole Street, Bushnell. Cam Kramer wheeling out of there on the far side in trouble. Down to Cordell. Cordell thought, now a couple of dribbles, bounces in for Flora. He'll go put it up, and Hauer knocks it away. Hauer able to swat it out of there. And it has been a rather low-scoring affair here so far. Ranner Pierce coming in, replacing Guppy.
Both teams kind of struggling to get into their offensive sets. You know, Bushnell has kind of resulted into those deep three-pointer attempts after they haven't been able to get any good looks so far against this West Prairie defense.
Flora shot on the way, no good, and Beekman brings it up. Lane Huffman quickly to Upton. Couple of fakes by Upton, down in the corner to Hauer. Hauer looking to Pierce. And he'll start in, dribble in on floor, turn it out to Huffman in the corner. BPC very patient here. One thing I've been kind of impressed with them, not taking first open thing, and Upton, that one out of bounds, or actually saved in, but then swatted out. So it'll be Spartan basketball. Still 3-1. As the Spartans go to work. Upton going to give a screen to Huffman. 2-3 zone put on here by West Prairie. Now Beekman with it. He'll wheel. And deal out to Upton in the lane for Pierce. Pierce, turnaround J, no good. Rebound fought for. And Flora going to get and be bumped by Pierce out of bounds. So 3-1 lead here. As Brody Cordell across the timeline here. Cordell looking to come down the far side to Austin Nelson. Nelson, a swing, wheels it out. And I got to say this, John, I remember this with Austin in junior high. Wherever he goes fast.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of speed there, high acceleration. Nelson, a great athlete. As we're going to see the foul picked up, I believe that's going to be charged on Nelson.
As he fouled Huffman from behind, Huffman will go to the free throw line. Shoot a pair. And Huffman at the free throw line. It is up, no good. Hunter Jackson checking in for West Prairie, replacing Nelson. As Nelson getting a break here. Huffman. Free throw on the way, makes it. So makes 1 of 2. Ups it to 4-1. And now Cordell comes over the timeline, slowing it there, picks up his dribble at half court. Down to Clark. Clark wheels about, avoiding a couple players, out to Cam Kramer. Kramer holds, looks, has Clark wide open underneath the basket. Beauty of a pass, and a beautiful play there by the Cyclones makes it 4-3.
Yeah, and someone just lost track of Ryan Clark there. He's able to find a home runner in the basket. Kramer hit him with a nice one-hand pass, and it's 2 points for the Cyclones.
Upton over to Huffman. Huffman looking for Pierce. Pierce spins in the corner. Beekman 3 on the way is good. Ups it to a 7-3 lead as they continue to work here, and now bringing in lanes. Flora got to miss it, and back with it comes Spartan. Pierce on the drive, goes up, and that one knocked away by Cordell. They throw it out ahead to Jair Flora. Flora in the lane, goes up, can't get it to go. Cordell trying to tap it. Clark with it, he's fouled. It's going to be whistled on Beekman. A lot of bobbling around there. Now Ryan Clark will be up at the free throw line, try to cut into this 4-point deficit here for the Cyclones. First one's good. A hat brand built on 2 staples, comfort and style, specializing in snapback trucker style caps. Check out the selection or consider customs to build your business at BarkleyBillsCo.com. Don't let the hat rack fool you. Always room for one more. BarkleyBillsCo.com. Wishing good luck to all area athletes this season. Clark makes a pair. Cuts the deficit to 7-5, 27 seconds left. Spartans most likely work for 1. I say that, Beekman crashes to the lane, puts it up and puts it in. And makes it 8-5. Cordell throws it away. Lane Huffman misses the shot. And out there with it come the Cyclones. Cordell stops, dribbles up top of the key, goes down the lane, bounces to Jair Flora, goes up, and he's fouled from behind by Upton.
Really a nice entry pass there from Cordell. Bounce pass down to Flora Durham, who's able to recall in his dribble off the behind the back. And like I said, just a nice thread-the-needle bounce pass.
Yeah, and the Cyclones have done quite a bit of that tonight. Some really good dump-offs here and there throughout these games. For this game so far, Flora Durham misses the first one. Second one is no good, and the rebound, Upton out of there with it. 3 seconds left. Upton up to Beekman, 3 on the way. That is good. Saw that the minute he let it go, and he pumps it home for a 12-5 Spartan lead at the end of 1. We will head to the second quarter in just a moment. TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are gonna watch out for us and that care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
And we are back here, 12-5, as we head to the second quarter of play. And they are running the standard regular quarters, folks. It is the 8-minute quarters, normal game here. They do that with the girls' game, shorten them a little bit because of numbers. Hunter Jackson with it, holds it on the far side, throws it up to Kramer, who lost it. Beekman takes it away, and Beekman trying to get it. Trip, and Huffman gets it up. Over to Pierce. Pierce has it taken away by Flora Durham. And off in the hands of Ryan Clark. It is Brody Cordell, Ryan Clark, Cam Kramer. Joined by Jair Flora Durham, also Hunter Jackson. Clark with it out to Kramer. Kramer, couple dribbles, comes out to Cordell. Cordell will hold. There's Cordell, bounced it into Flora Durham. He'll go up and throw it up there. Clark tapped it and he got his own rebound. Puts it up again, can't get it to go. And the rebound, Beekman. Ahead of the pack there as he'll challenge Kramer, lays it up, won't go. Cordell had the rebound, now Jackson with it. And Hunter Jackson will bring it on out of there. Jackson off to Cordell. He travels, he went to set his feet. One turns it over. Nelson comes in, Flora Durham goes out for the Cyclones. On the floor for the Spartans, it is Ethan McKim, joined out there by Nolan Hauer, Brock Beekman, Lane Huffman, and also Renner Pierce. Lane Huffman brings him up. Pierce holds it on the far side. He'll step up for the three. It is short, and Hunter Jackson another rebound as Cam Kramer will walk it up. Bouncing up to Cordell. Cordell in the lane for Nelson. Nelson outside to Kramer. Kramer a fake. Just a look and wheels it out over to Cordell. Cordell thinks the lane, pulls it down. Now bounces into Clark, up to Nelson. Nelson out to Jackson. Over to Cordell. Cordell looking to attack, gets in the lane, puts it up, won't get it to, well, it does get it to go. That was about 18 bounces, but it did go in. And back will come the Spartans. 12-7 they lead. Down to 6 minutes left to go here. McKim sets a pick for Beekman. Bounce out to Pierce. He'll drive lane on Nelson. Cut off. Into McKim. To Hauer. He'll chuck up the three. And that seems to be a Spartan program-wide deal. As the girls, as Cam Kramer right up and gets fouled as he goes up. And you know, John, we've already had the Spartans seem to be, like I said, program-wide, the threes on the way.
Yeah, we've seen Beekman knock down a couple of them here early on. He got the buzzer beater at the end of the first quarter, definitely working for them so far in this contest. And the Cyclones, you know, kind of lethargic out there, not really playing with much energy. Need to find a way to get some more points on the board and trim into this lead as they've had some decent looks at the rim, just not able to get them converted.
Howard going to take a seat. Second one by Kramer. Up and good. So cuts it to 12-8. 5:50 left to go here in this second quarter. Beekman down with it. In the corner, works it over for Pierce. Up to Beekman. Beekman waiting, dribbling toward the lane. Fires it out to Huffman. Huffman, pick from McKim, goes to the corner. Now out to Pierce. Pierce holds back to Huffman. Give a lot of credit to the Spartans for being very, very patient. Beekman out top for Ruffin Thomas. Over for Beekman. Beekman down to Ruffin Thomas. He'll fake. Back out to Beekman. Open for the three. And he gets it. And I'll tell you, John, that's how you work it. Just very, very patient offense there.
Yeah, very patient, and it results in another three for Beekman. Cyclones got to be closed out on him. Very smooth jump shot for Beekman. He's up to, I believe, 4 threes in this game, if not only 3, but definitely shooting the lights out here so far.
And really on wide open shots, they just continue to keep working for him, find him in open areas. And past Ruffin Thomas knocking that out of bounds. Hunter Jackson will trigger it inbounds underneath the far side of the free throw lane. Looks into Nelson. Nelson holds. And not sure, well, I guess he would drill. I didn't know whether he's trying to hand it off to Kramer. Nelson down the lane, lost it to Jackson. Jackson throws it up. Clark gets it. And back to Jackson. He'll put up the 3 in the corner. It is no good. Cam Kramer the rebound. Tried to get it back out, and Jackson able to recover it. And the Cyclones will take a timeout. So will we. Going to give thanks to our very fine sponsors like the Sports Corner at 124, Macomb's original local sports bar. The Sports Corner at 124 with a focus on local sports. Catch WIU games and all the area TSSR Game Time live broadcast at Sports Corner at 124, all while enjoying your favorite cold drink and some of the best food in West Central Illinois. Stop in and say hi at 124 North Randolph Street in Macomb. Located in the heart of Walnut Grove and in business since 1974, Ryden Farm Supply can meet all your LP seed, fertilizer, and farm chemical needs. Their LP service unmatched in this area. Customer service, one of their specialties. Give them a call today, 309-772-3121. And John, as we go along here, kind of seeing both teams maybe a little more patient than in the girls contest. And I really have got to talk about how and folks, if you wonder why I'm kind of, I guess, I shouldn't say in awe of it, but kind of, is because this is my first look at the Spartans this year, but very, very patient.
Yeah, very patient, working the ball around, finding good shots on the outside, and it's definitely worked well for them so far in this contest. I mean, the Cyclones have been playing, for the most part, great D, but when you play good defense for, 20, 30, 40-second possessions, someone's eventually going to forget their cue, miss a rotation, and results in a bucket for BPC.
And so now they bring it in the corner. It is worked to Clark. Clark on the far side. Up top to Nelson. He'll leisurely come toward the top. Comes out to Clark. Clark working the far side. Spins. Out to Nelson. Nelson holds and waits as McKim takes him. Out to Clark. Clark looking at Cordell and the lane on Beekman. Nope. Out to Kramer. Kramer holding. And bouncing over to Clark on the near side. Watches Kramer go through. Found him. He'll go up. Tried the reverse. Couldn't get it to go. And Pierce is out without. To Huffman on the run. Nice job by Hunter Jackson, able to cut him off. Over to Pierce. Pierce toward the baseline. Up to Lane Huffman. Out to Ruffin Thomas. To Beekman. Shoots the 3. Missed it. And Kramer gathers in the rebound. Back he'll go the other way. And Kramer in the lane. Nice pass to Clark. I think that was tipped by Beekman, John.
Yeah, it looked like it might have been partially tipped. I would expect that Ryan Clark doesn't miss too many of those wide open ones underneath the basket.
Beekman miss again. Did want to update you, 5th and 6th grade volleyball going on. The 5th grade did not get the win. The 6th grade did win as Brody Cordell puts it in for 2 and cuts the lead to 15-10. So 1-1 for the first night for the 5th and 6th grade volleyball Cyclones. And now they work 15-10 here, coming back. Down Pierce, bounces out to McKim, up to Huffman. He'll take the 16-footer and drill it. 17-8. 2.5 left to go here in the second quarter. Cordell past Beekman down the far sideline, driving in the lane, goes right past everybody, up and in.
Right around all of you, bro.
And that gets Howard right up off the bench, John. Their coaches did not like the look of that.
No, Cordell took it basically, caught it at half court, took it all the way to the rim. Nobody stepped in front of him. He was able to get the layup up and good. As you see a couple opportunities here, and Beekman's finally got to be able to get one to go through off the offensive rebound.
Cyclones bring it up, go under 2 minutes left to go in the first half. They wheel it off to Brody Cordell. Cordell down to Kramer. Kramer holds in the near side wing up to Cordell. Cordell down for Clark. Clark gives a look, back up to Cordell, swinging to Kramer. He'll spot the 3. It is no good, a little long, and the rebound. Beekman climbs the ladder for it, off to Huffman. Here come the Spartans on the run as Nelson jumps at it, off to Beekman. Beekman going down the far side to McKim, who nearly lost it, out to Ruffin Thomas. And up to Huffman, they'll work it around here. Puts it on the dribble drive, gonna knock it down, 17-footer. No good, rebound batted, and Nelson pulls it away. Nelson ahead of the pack as he runs it down. He was trying to thread the needle to Clark. Batted by Beekman, and Nelson got it back, puts it up and in. Cuts the lead down to 5 again, and right before this half, John, the Cyclones have a chance, if they can get a stop, to cut this down to a one-possession game.
Yeah, definitely got to try to get some points on the board as the wide open corner three will fall. Definitely not what you want to see there. The Cyclones now playing with a little bit more pace and transition to be able to get a few shots to go near the rim. Got to keep looking to do that if they're going to want to get the lead here in this game.
And errant pass, fight for it on the floor. Huffman kind of bats it ahead, dribbles in on Cordell. And they're going to say clean block on that one. Howard will come in, Flora Durham back in for West Prairie. And you got to get it, I tell you, a great shooting half for Brock Beekman. That's at least 4, maybe 5 threes in this first half for him. And pacing the Spartans here tonight.
Yeah, he's definitely able to get a lot of good wide open looks from the outside. Cyclone defenders just not getting a hand in the face. He's been able to capitalize on that. See the big block on the outside from Cam Kramer, but it comes right back to BPC.
Ruffin Thomas up to Upton. Over to Howard. Now to Huffman. 15 seconds left. They're going to work for one here. Huffman gets the screen. Come over to Upton. Very dangerous. They left him open. Now working with 7 seconds up. Back to Upton. Upton up to Huffman. Huffman down in the corner. McKim. Shot is way short of the mark. And that's the end of the first half of play with our score. The Spartans of BPC up 22-14 here on West Prairie. We'll take this timeout. This is TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today and make your voice heard.
We're an 11-bed ER. I pride myself on every day that the patients get what they need and see a physician when they need it. We want them to be headed towards the road of recovery when they leave here. I feel like we have nurses that care so much. We're more than a team. It's a family, and we want what's best for the patient.
It would have been funny, Lauren Powell. It would have been funny. We're back here at West Prairie High School. Speaking of Lauren Powell, that is a wonderful segue. We will see the Lady Cyclones in action tomorrow night, led by one Lauren Powell and Grace Vanonic and Maddie Hood. As we get this second half underway, it is not the fourth quarter. Let's start with that. Lane Huffman also out there. Joining him is Connor Upton, who has basketball now, and McKim in the lane. Out for Beekman. He'll fake drive lane, swing it over to no one.
It's the right idea. Nice pass there, but just nobody on the other end of it.
I think he was looking for Ruffin Thomas, De'Arian Ruffin Thomas, but he'd cut into the basket. As Brody Cordell, Ryan Clark, Jair Flora, Austin Nelson, and Cam Kramer on the floor. Spartans in a very aggressive man-to-man. Brody Cordell breaks it down, puts the two in, and good. So makes it 22-16. You know, if you sit there, I'm going to make you read the ads. 22-16. De'Arian Ruffin Thomas caught to McKim. McKim working on floor, comes over for Beekman. Beekman swinging near side to Upton, down to Huffman. Now, funny enough, I thought we would see Lane Huffman put up the three, but he has not. Has dribbled in for the dreaded long two. Beekman quick stop and pop, short, no go. And off it comes. Cordell trying to feed Ryan Clark. Huffman says no thanks. Ruffin Thomas back to Beekman, comes to the near corner. Cross courts it to Upton. And now working over to Huffman. And a lot of good motion here in this offense for the Spartans, John. They're really moving it around.
Yeah, and it's something we talked about in the first half, just the patience on display. And again, you know, you work the ball around long enough, and one of these West Prairie defenders is bound to make a mistake. You got to capitalize when they do so. But until then, I mean, just keep doing what you're doing. Take as much time off the clock as you can.
Dribble down there, coming over to Ruffin Thomas in the lane to McKim. He'll spin on Flora. Turnaround J is good. A little bit of the kiss, and he puts it in and good. Makes 24-16. As they work down, coming over to Kramer, over to Ryan Clark. Clark sets it up, out to Kramer. Kramer three on the way, kaboom! Puts it in for it cuts the lead down to 24-19. And once again, 5-point deficit facing the Cyclones as the Spartans go back to work. Ruffin Thomas trying to work it over to Upton, picked off by Clark. Clark on the run, up and good. 24-21. Cuts it down to three. Bring out of there is Lane Huffman. Huffman over to Beekman. Beekman looking down into Upton. Upton off the top of the backboard. And Ryan Clark the rebound. Now, to explain that, why is that not out of bounds? It did not break the plane. Austin Nelson, nice spin move. Get out of there, and we've got a reach and foul. But back to my point on that, if it doesn't break that kind of magical plane or it doesn't touch any of the parts up above the backboard, it can, in theory, touch the top of the backboard and not be out of bounds. 24-21 here. As back will come Huffman. And again, 4:50 left to go in this third quarter. It's gone quick, but the Spartans, what do you guess, John? Probably 45 seconds of possession. Seem like they're really working it around.
Yeah, the last possession they had before that shot went off the backboard, I mean, they probably, as you mentioned, probably worked at least 40 to 50 seconds shot off the clock and then put up that kind of post fadeaway and was able to get it to go. And, I mean, if you can do that for the entire game, you're going to win a lot of ball games.
Xander Jones has come into the contest now, replacing Ruffin Thomas as they bounce it into Cordell. Cordell works it on the way. Swings it over to Flora Durham as his pass tapped away, and Lane Huffman up with it. And that is speed. Boy, you can see once he got it, he was gone. It makes it 26-21. Back they'll come. Cam Kramer with it out top. 4:20 clock rolling here. Working on the far side to Nelson. Nelson feeling out McKim. Now whips it under the basket to Clark. Over to Cordell through his hands. And Huffman again. Huffman chased by Nelson and went over the top of him. Nelson down with it. And he'll dribble it out of there. And they were saying they kind of wanted to foul in there. Cordell 3 on the way. It is no good. Clark had the rebound. Second goes out of bounds. It'll go over to Bushnell. And he went up, but I'm not sure really, John.
You're walking the dog and all kinds of shit.
And kind of went up there, and Nelson was up underneath him, kind of went over the top of him. I don't know. That's kind of an edgy no call, but that's what they got.
Yeah, we've seen the refs kind of letting them play a little bit more physical here in this contest. I mean, they are calling fouls, but sometimes, you know, they've seen a couple of those fouls where it's kind of obvious, just kind of missing those.
And Hunter Jackson with it slips down. 26-21, 5-point advantage here. As Spartans bring it in, ready to trigger in is Beekman. Beekman into Xander Jones. Long two rattles out. Nelson had the rebound. And off to Guppy. Guppy in the lane as his pass tipped up in the air to Upton. Upton toes a 3. It is good. Puts the 3 in and good. Makes it 29-21. And Austin Nelson dribbles that one off his foot. Grabs it. And it'll be over and back. Upton tried to dive in there and ended up hitting his head on Austin's leg. Beekman to trigger in. 29-21 lead. Over to Beekman again. He'll dribble on the way. Passes over to Upton. Down in the lane to Guppy. Guppy to Xander Jones. Jones out to Beekman. Beekman looking again in the lane. Pick from McKim. Drives down there. 10-footer no good. Jackson the rebound. And works it over to Cam Kramer. 2:50 left to go here in the third quarter. 8-point lead. Kramer long 3. Gathers nylon. But the wrong way.
Yeah, not really the shot you want there if you're the Cyclones. Just under 3 minutes to go here. You trail by 8. Got to get into this offensive set, work the ball around a little bit more. You know, occasionally Kramer will knock down those deep threes, but I feel like that is not the shot that you want.
With an 8-point deficit, probably not, because they hit one, you get into double digit. And Xander Jones falling down there. Hunter Jackson driving in on Beekman. Gets him up in there and is stuffed from behind by Guppy. They're going to call a foul on that. 29-21, 2:27 left to go here in the third quarter. Cam Kramer will trigger it inbound. Nice fake by Jackson. I got to give him credit on that. Hunter Jackson up to Cordell. Cordell swinging over to Kramer. Kramer avoiding 3 guys, drives in. Floater is good. Now that's the kind of shot that you want coming up there, and we'll have a 30-second timeout called by West Prairie. Let's thank more of our fine sponsors along the way, like Good Hope Gardens, located at 445 East Main Street, Good Hope, just east of the North Elementary School, open April through October, Thursday and Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for all your fresh produce needs. Be sure to follow our Facebook page for daily updates. They're preparing for the 2023 season right now. Over in Mary Jo DeCounter and family invite you to Good Hope Gardens. Come see where it's grown. Located in the heart of Walnut Grove and in business since 1974, Ryden Farm Supply can meet all your needs for LP seed, fertilizer, and farm chemicals. Their LP service is unmatched in this area. Customer service, one of their specialties. Give them a call today at 309-772-3121. And again, as we're going along the season here, we're over the halfway mark. Please say thank you to some of our fine sponsors. Cyclones pressuring on the inbounds. Beekman ahead of the pack. Shoots it, got it, yes, and it counts.
And the Cyclones there came up with a little bit of pressure, but Beekman able to leak out. Nobody in the backcourt for the Cyclones, and is able to convert the layup with the harm, so he'll take a trip to the line with a chance to convert the three-point play.
And Beekman will put that up and put it in, 31-23, back to an 8-point lead. Actually, 32-23, lead is 9. Nelson with it. 2 minutes left to go here in the third. Nelson driving in. Spins. Shoot shot. No good. Cordell the rebound. And should be a tie-up.
So I thought that should have been a jump ball there.
Yeah, looked like a tie-up to me, but Beekman brings it up. It's a pick from Pierce into the ball game. Kicks it over for Jones. Jones drives the lane, gives to McKim. McKim spins, has it knocked away. Kramer and Hunter Jackson combining to pick it off. As Kramer brings it up over the timeline now, slows on the near side. Bounces cross court to Ryan Clark. Clark out to Cordell. Cordell down in the corner to Kramer, right in the lane again. Fired it off the hands of Clark. He'll whip it out to Nelson. And over to Kramer. Now to Clark. Clark three on the way. It is no good. The rebound snapped up by Pierce. And bounced out to Beekman. We roll down to Ward, 1:10 left to go, third quarter. Out to Pierce. He'll step into a three. Won't go. And the rebound snapped up by Austin Nelson. Nelson across the timeline here. Under a minute we go in this third quarter play. Coming to Cordell, down to Kramer in the corner. He'll spot up the three, no good. And Clark able to snag the rebound. Out to Kramer again. Whips it over to Nelson. Nelson holds to Cordell. Cordell as they work up. Coming out to Cam Kramer. As he'll work it. Close it down here. Looks like these Cyclones working for one. Kramer. Yep. Shoots hole in that. Shoots three, no good. Pierce the rebound. Out quickly to Beekman. Beekman gonna challenge. Driving in. And Nelson did a good job of getting underneath him. Nice textbook charge there, John.
Yeah, Nelson was able to beat Beekman down the court, got his feet set basically right under the basket. Beekman ran into him. Nelson fell over, and that's your, as you mentioned, that's your textbook charge right there.
And they're going to call that 90% of the time that way. Either a charge or a player control foul. Kramer walks it up. Cyclones will work for one here at the end of three. Coming to Clark, down to Jackson, up to Cordell. Cordell gives a look over to Nelson. Nelson waiting here, steps into the three, missed it. Rebound pulled down there by Jones. Jones on the run, shot is no good. At the end of 3 quarters of play, the Spartans lead 32-23 over West Prairie right here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
And we're back here, John, as we head into the fourth quarter for Bushnell-Prairie City. Just do more of the same. I mean, that's done a lot of good job working it around, taking plenty of time, putting shots up on the way. And if you're West Prairie, you got to up the pressure.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Bushnell, they've done the same thing for the first 3 quarters. It's gotten to a lead up to this point, just keep doing much of the same. And West Prairie, as you mentioned, you got to come up, you got to start pressuring these ball handlers, making them work a little bit quicker than they are right now. Maybe hopefully force some turnovers, get the ball back, get on the other end of the court, and score some baskets.
And starting the fourth quarter for the Spartans, it is Brock Beekman, Xander Jones, Nolan Hauer, also Ethan McKim, and Ranner Pierce. On the floor for the Cyclones, it is Cam Kramer, Jair Flora Durham, Brody Cordell. Also out there, Hunter Jackson, joined by number 5, Jason Faust. 2-3 zone here. As Beekman brings it. Looks to come to the near side. Pops a quick 3. No good. And Cordell down with the rebound. Brody Cordell looking to accelerate into the front court. Comes down the lane, had it in pocket pick. And Upton out of there with it. Upton, as Cam Kramer gives him chase, missed it. Beekman there for the rebound. And Beekman missed it. Definitely it wasn't Beekman's world there, as Cordell puts it up and puts it in. Kind of, John, an interesting end-to-end sequence.
Yeah, Cordell's able to capitalize there. Took a little bit of body, got kind of the floater push shot in the middle of the paint there, up and good. And just on the other end, another kind of float shot there, but that one's going to go hard off the backboard, land in the hands of Cam Kramer.
And the Cyclones can cut it down to 5 or 4 here as they work against this zone. And tried to throw it to Faust. That one bounced around and is going to stay with Cyclones. Kramer ready to bring it in. And into Faust. Faust 3 on the way. It is no good. Howard down at the rebound. Xander Jones will work on Lex. He's picked up his dribble in the backcourt. And now Beekman coming in there. Hunter Jackson giving him chase. Out to Jones. Jones looks for Howard. Back out to Beekman. Back over to Upton. Upton no good on the 3. But Howard climbs it for the rebound. Upton driving the lane. Shot no good. Pierce with the rebound. And I think it is going to be Flora Durham on the foul underneath. But again, John, you're seeing that patience here by BPC.
Yeah, just working the ball around, able to get it down low. Nice Euro step coming down there. Missed it initially, but the foul is going to be going on. I think that foul actually went on Cam Kramer.
It actually did.
Must have gotten with the body. It looked pretty clean up top.
Flora Durham will come out as Austin Nelson back in. Upton will go out as De'Arian Ruffin Thomas coming in. Second one, no good as well. And Howard with the rebound and puts it up and in. And folks at home, if you think that was over the back, it was actually not, because ball bounced right to him and really had made contact with Nelson. Cordell throws one away, 34-25, the lead 9. 6:17 left to go here in the ball game. Your farm is your legacy is the leading farm insurer. Country Financial is here to help. Call Brett Powell, your local country rep, at 309-652-3889. Free quote today. Beekman, quick stop and pop 3, no good. And kind of coming the other way, John, that's probably not the shot that the Spartans want.
No, not really, but Beekman has hit a couple threes in this contest already. Hasn't really made much of an impact here in the second half, but in the first half, definitely knocking down those threes.
Ruffin Thomas will take it in and score. And ups the lead to 11, 36-25 with 5 minutes, 40 seconds left to go here. Cordell down with it. Out to Nelson. Nelson over to Kramer. Kramer a fake. Driving the lane, backing out of there. As Cordell dribbles down, backs out. Needs some help there. Up to Nelson. Nelson over to Kramer. Kramer waits, wings it, and Beekman able to pick it off. Behind his back, dribbles toward the lane, goes up, and got it to go.
Pretty finish there from Beekman, able to readjust in midair, get kind of the jelly layup up and good.
38-25, largest lead here for the Spartans, and obviously we're either sitting by Cam Kramer or Rob Beekman's parents, or it's a very enthusiastic
Definitely.
fan. We'll take this timeout on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
After my appointment that day, I just made up my mind that I'm going to have my baby here in Macomb and this hospital, because irrespective of where you're from, who you are, it's just their line of duty to make sure they give care, make you comfortable.
I thought about the staff of MDH. You know, they're all good. You will get all the support you need. This is just the best place for you and your family.
And we are back here having slow, unreliable internet doesn't cut it in today's world. MTC Communications offers lightning fast, reliable fiber internet, video, camera, and phone systems in McDonough, Henderson, and Hancock County areas, and is expanding quickly. Visit mtc.crownfiber.com to check your availability. For all your local news, subscribe to the Community News Brief Weekly Edition, mailed directly to your home every Friday. You can also receive Monday and Wednesday editions by email. All this for only $42 per year, $38 per year, age 65 or older. You can buy copies, select locations in Bushnell, Colchester, and Blandonsville. Cyclones bring it up. Ryan Clark back into the game. Cordell will go to work here. There's 5 minutes left to go in the contest. Hunter Jackson in the corner to Clark. Clark around the defense, bouncing for Nelson. And we've got a foul whistled on Connor Palm. Connor Palm putting his fingers and other things on it. That one was too easy. Lobs out for Cordell. They go to work here. Cordell down in the corner to Nelson. Nelson thought three, said no, comes to Kramer. Kramer stepping through, comes to Jackson. Jackson down in the corner, far side. Clark gonna go pump and go with the three, no good. Beekman down with the rebound. And he'll look up to Howard. Clark says, thanks for the gumball, Mickey. And they'll go back the other way.
That's your ball.
And, okay, it's got to be Brock Beekman's parents. But now a 2-on-1. Beekman coming in the lane, goes up, missed it. Howard, nice job of tapping it. But Ruffin Thomas cannot save it. And actually, for the Spartans, John, I know you're up 13, there's 4 minutes left. Yes, those fast breaks are great. Yes, the 2-on-1s, but you got to make those. So if you're not, if your chances of making those are down, you got to pull that out and run some clock. You got to pull that out and run some clock.
Yeah, and the Spartans have done such a good job working the ball around and running time off the clock in this one. You'd like to see them maybe on some of those, as you mentioned, just kind of pulling back a little bit.
I mean, if it's not a cash money layup, you got to think about working it back. And Cam Kramer kind of crashing in there with it. Fight for it in the lane. And Beekman's out of there with it. They throw it ahead. Layup is good by Connor Palm. Makes it 40-25, 15-point lead here. 3:20 left to go in the game. And Beekman a near steal. Cordell down with it. Lost. And pops in the lane. No good. Rebound Beekman down. Wings it up to Pierce. Pierce out in the corner to Howard. Howard throwing three, no good. Pierce the rebound. And Pierce on the way. Yes! And it counts. And foul's going to be whistled on Austin Nelson. That'll mean Pierce up the line, and we got mass substitutions. Routines, Cam Kramer coming out. Austin Nelson coming out. And Ryan Clark coming out, coming in for the Cyclones. As they line up Brody Cordell and Jair Flora. Also on the floor now is Blake Arnold, along with Jason Faust and Hunter Jackson. Pierce at the line, makes the one. And makes it 43-25. As Hunter Jackson works, coming out to Cordell, over to Arnold. Back to Cordell. Looks back to Arnold. Wait, shakes, 2:45 clock counting here, 43-25. Faust out to Cordell. He'll put up the three. It is no good, and the rebound snapped up there. And actually, Arnold with a steal to Jackson. He'll put up the long shot, no good. And the rebound, Pierce able to snap it up, kind of heaves it up in no man's land. Palm with it, firing on the outside, shot off the side of the backboard by number 24, Ryan Adler, and a three up and in by, is that number 10, Gary Hughes?
It was. Gary Hughes comes into the game, knocks down a corner three there. Nice shot from Hughes, nice looking jump shot.
And that was a two. As 40, right now 46-25. As they bring it into Flora, Flora waiting, holds. Coming out to Cordell, he'll put up a three, no good. Rebound, Arnold down with it. Back to Cordell in the lane, Flora working against two guys. Going up, shoots it, can't get it to go. And Howard's out of there with it. Howard dribbling up through the lane, lays it up, and gets it to go. 47-25 now. Hunter Jackson down with it. Over to Cordell, working with a minute 25 left to go to Arnold. Swinging back to Cordell, back to Faust. Not sure where he was going with that one. We've got a substitution coming in. Substitution timeout. That'll be Ryan Adler checking in. As Pierce comes out. And a little excitement, I guess that's all right. I take it now, folks, I'm going to be a little remiss here. I would take it, winning hasn't been a consistent thing on the Spartan side of things. Not that that's bad, a little enthusiasm's fine. As they work it out, it is Hughes down in the corner with it. Fake on the far side, working with it now is Ryan Adler. Spinning out, they lob in the corner, Howard. Hold on with it as we work under a minute. Out to Hughes, he'll spot up the three, it is no good. And the rebound pulled down by Hunter Jackson. Jackson out of there with it, coming to Cordell. Cordell throws it right off Hunter Jackson, and it is stolen there by Reese Reimold. He misses the layup. Howard puts it up and puts it in. 49-25 here, or 50-25. Jackson works it over to Cordell, over to Arnold. Arnold back to Cordell. Spins in the lane, goes right up and in, puts it up, won't go. Rebound, got his own rebound, got it again, and will be fouled. And the foul on Howard. Brody Cordell will bring it in for the last 9.8 seconds left to go here in the contest. Jackson out to Faust, back to Cordell, puts it on the way, no good. And Howard will hold on to it there with 3 seconds left. We're looking to dribble it up and has it poked away at the end. 50-27, the final score here. The Spartans and the Cyclones in this JV doubleheader. We'll be back to do it again tomorrow night, Mr. John. So any final thoughts here tonight?
I mean, it was really a good game played on both sides. BPC here in the boys contest just kind of came out in the first quarter a little bit more energy than the West Prairie team. West Prairie tried to battle back there in the beginning half of the third quarter, but BPC was just able to take control, run away with this one. Two bad outcomes, I suppose, for West Prairie teams here tonight, but we'll run it back tomorrow and look for a little different ending.
All right, well, that wraps it up from here. You have been watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.